So the first symptom I had of a starter motor issue was I'd stopped the van, went to go back to it, turned the key all the way, and I got nothing. So as you can see here, just no response. So first thing I did was just check in the under bonnet fuse box and check the obvious fuses. And here I'm just waiting for a beep to indicate there's a bit of consistency. So fuse okay, and then this one, 25 amp fuse, which is fuse 8, had no response from it. So seeing a little bit better here. That's the fuse we're looking at, and taking it out had indeed blown. And checking in the owner's manual for this fuse, it shows it's 20 amp, but it's the starter motor control, so we're in the right area. So first I thought I'll swap a 20 amp in and I'll see if that makes any difference, and it blew straight away. So battery comes off, and I have lost the cover for this, so top of my bit of mat it goes. And then I'm going to remove the resonator box just to get to this first bolt a bit easier. I'm just going to put that to one side, keep it safe. And now this first bolt is underneath where the fuel filter housing is, but I'm using a little mirror here to try and show you because it's in a really difficult place. And the only way I could get a socket onto it was to use this sort of elbow joint and the mirror to try and guide myself into there. So once you've found it, it should be relatively easy to undo, but it is a really long bolt, so you'll be there for a short amount of time trying to take it out. But this is the first of 3 long bolts that hold the starter motor on. So I'm just going to withdraw this bolt and get it out of the way. As you can see here, I'm using a 6mm hex socket. Now, getting right underneath the vehicle, looking at the back, you can see the drive shaft there, and above it is the starter motor. So there's 2 bolts on here. There's the 6mm hex at the front. There's an 8mm and a 13mm holding the wires on for the starter motor itself. And there's a 6mm hex at the back that you can't see there, and it's a similar sort of job to the other one above. And then there's a bracket on top, which we'll get last after the starter motor's out. So first up, I'm going to remove the 8mm, which I think is a signal wire for the starter. And this should be really accessible. And then just above it, there's the 13mm, which I think is for the main live wire to the starter. And again, it's not a fun job, but they're accessible, and certainly a lot more so than the rearmost one, which I'm going to undo here. You see, using a mirror and getting a ratchet in just in enough space there with an extension bar. And then once that bolts out and you've undone the front one, you should be able to slide the whole starter out of position, and then it'll be held on just by this bracket. So you might have to judge this based on your own setup, but I like to undo this bracket nut and then release the sort of harness away from the starter. And then on these dispatches, on these vans at least, there's enough space to just move the starter out of position there. And then you judge it from here really. If you're refitting a starter, it's just reversal of the same process.